Today I'm going to be talking about my experience with a teacher that changed my perspective towards authority. I was in GHS3 and it was a term for us to write BEC when this teacher suggested that we have extra classes at his place. So we have extra classes on campus, but we close at 5 p.m. and other teachers have their extra classes at other times, but he suggested we have it at his end. So you close from school at 5 p.m. then go home and then come back to his place at 7 p.m. So on the first day it was normal classes, like outside his house. Then after the classes, every other student left. They all live around the same vicinity, but I, on the other hand, I live at the other end of the town, so I had to go alone. Then he suggested that I go with him because my mom requested he brings me himself to the house. So he escorted me and it was just a normal walk home. So days passed and we kept having our classes until one day it rained. So because of the rain, we had to use his hall for the classes. We had the normal classes, then everyone left as usual and he escorted me home. But days after that, I started hearing rumors. The town was a town that spoke Ewe and I didn't understand Ewe. Even as at that time, I didn't understand a word in Ewe. So my relationship with my classmates wasn't a normal relationship. It wasn't friendly. It wasn't any good relationship because they were always mocking me. They were always insulting me. Like those calling name stuffs, and I didn't like that. So I didn't like them. I just didn't feel like one of them. But I was hearing rumors that some students were sleeping with the teachers. There were rumors. I didn't know if it was true. There was no one I could ask. So I didn't bother. Moreover, I didn't really care. And I also heard that there was this girl that was sleeping with that teacher. But that particular teacher was a teacher that was highly revered in the school. So I didn't believe it. But I didn't care to ask. Then one day, after school, it was a Friday, after school he called me and told me that tomorrow will I be doing something, which was Saturday. And I said no, and he told me that he would want me to come and cook for him. I immediately declined because I didn't want a situation where I'll be in the house alone with him. I didn't want to be in the house alone with any male, because as at that time, people that were approaching me, like older people, and I didn't understand why, because I thought I was very young. I was 14. So he made me realize that he asked my mom already, and my mom told him that I can cook. That is why he's asking me. Not for my opinion, but for my time. I didn't know what to say, so I told him that I'll ask my mom. When I go home, I asked my mom, and she told me, I asked her if she told my teacher that I'll be cooking for him, and she said, oh yeah, I did, because he's a single man and men don't like to cook. So I told him that you are a very good cook. I told him how good you are, and he suggested that you come and cook for him. And I told him, of course, anytime you're free, just go and cook for him. I told him you come this weekend, so get ready, tomorrow you go. Like, if you're from an African home and you're not living with your parents, there's so little you can say when it comes to these things, especially when they make decisions for you. Who are you to talk? I really didn't like the situation I was in because I didn't want to go. I just have this instinct that anytime I don't want to do something, if I do it, it doesn't go well. So I don't want to do it. But I didn't have a choice, so I went the next day. When I went, he had bought the foodstuffs already, so I just had to start cooking fast. I started cooking, and it was banku with groundnut soup, so I prepared the banku first, then the soup. So while I thought, okay, the soup was okay, at least he could just monitor it for it to be ready, then I told him that I was leaving. And he held my hand from behind and told me, why was I leaving? That I should wait a little. And I told him, I wanted to go and get ready. I had to take off myself as well. It was weekend. I had to do other chores and then stuff. He didn't want me to go. He told me that I should wait a little. We can watch movie. And in my mind, I was like, this man. He told me, oh, no, you can wait. And I told him, my mom said I should come early, so I wanted to leave. Then he said, okay. His regards to my mom, and I left. So the Monday when I went to school, after school he announced we'll have classes as usual, and we came for classes. After everyone left, he told me to wait behind. So after everyone left, instead of going to escort me, he asked that I wait a little. And I said, okay. I was sitting down and he went to take his bath and came. Then I wanted to get out because honestly, I didn't see him going out to take his bath. So when he came inside with a towel, I just got up, I apologized, and then I wanted to go out, and he helped me that why am I going out? That I should wait, I shouldn't go. I didn't want to be there alone with him because of the rumors I've heard, and because my instincts didn't allow me to be there alone with him. When he held my hand, he told me I should wait a little, and I said, oh no. Then he told me that he likes me and he likes how I'm always quiet. That anything I want him to do for me, he'll do it for me. So he wants me to be his friend, but I won't tell anyone. You see how I've opened my mouth? I was dumbfounded. In my mind, there were thousands of words that were running through it. Like, so it was true. So the rumors were true. So that's why they say there's an iota of truth in every rumor. Like, this teacher, I was astonished. I was like, so with all this respect, everyone admires you. Everyone looks up to you. Everyone likes you because they think you are such a good man. And then behind the scene, you are worse. There are other teachers that behave like thugs and all that, and people don't like them like that. But you, even my mom. So I started thinking, does my mom know this? I was surprised he could utter something like that, because he was one of the teachers that everybody liked, everybody revered. There was no single person, no single parent that didn't like him. Everyone respected him because he was this calm teacher, someone very gentle. But behind the scene, look at what he was doing. Well, I didn't say anything. I asked if he could escort me, that I wanted to leave, and he did. Now the next day in school, he asked a question and mentioned my name to answer. I didn't mind him. I didn't, and he called me for it and lashed me. And you see that kind of lash that you just stand there and then you stretch forth your hand and then they're lashing you, you don't care. That's what I did. Because deep inside me, I was very heartbroken and very disappointed. Even though I had my assumptions, even though my instincts kept telling me this would happen, I didn't see it coming. I couldn't tell my mom because my mom, prior to that, I was always telling her everything. Anyone who would propose to me, I'll tell her. Until one day I told her something, and the way she handled it, it was like she was accusing me, she was judging me, and I didn't want that, so I didn't tell her. I kept it to myself. After school that day, we went for classes. I didn't want to go. My mom asked me why I didn't want to go, and she sacked me from the house, and I went. When I went, I couldn't look up to him. I couldn't look at his face. It was after classes when he asked me to stay behind, and I told him I was in a hurry, and he asked me to stay, and I did. After staying, after everyone had left, he came closer, tried touching me. Sometimes I wish my younger self would see me now, because I don't think I would have been able to handle things calmly like before. When he tried touching me, I didn't say anything. I just went back and I told him that he shouldn't come any closer. And he told me, why? He told me, anything I want you give me, why am I doing that? And I told him he shouldn't come any closer. If he tries it out, shout. Then he stood there and asked that, was I really going to do that? I would. That's what I said. And I was like, I'm coming, let me get ready so that we go. Then he got ready. On our way, he was asking me if I was okay. I didn't mind him, because you see, that time I was just a broken child. I wanted someone to talk to. Now I couldn't trust anyone. When I go home, I remember crying so loud, crying my heart out, crying. I kept crying and crying and crying. That was when I realized that I really needed parents. I really wanted to be with my parents. I really missed, should I say missed? I have never experienced it. I wish I had parents that I was living with, not living with people, not staying with relatives. Like being with my actual parents that would love me. Because it felt like every time I was going through things and I didn't have anyone I could talk to. And most of the things were problems that people I was living with had caused for me. Had I been living with my parents, I could tell them I won't go and there was nothing they could say. But here's a situation whereby everything this man was using, every little thing he would stand on, your mom said, your mom said, your mom said, and you can't even say how you feel. You can't even voice out if you want to or you don't want to. I know some people are living with their parents and there are times they can tell their parents, I don't want to do this. The next day when I went to school, I didn't want to see him. I didn't. I think that they wouldn't even have his period. Then we went for extra classes. He kept trying his things. And every day I have to use the excuse that I'll shout. The excuse that I'll shout. The excuse that I'll shout. Till I completed school. It made me realize that sometimes you have to protect yourself, even in rooms that are meant to protect you. It also made me realize that you truly do not judge a book by its cover, because you don't know what is inside. You don't know the contents and the context in it. There are people that we look at, and then based on their outward appearance, we think they are good people. And then the same way we look at some people, and then we think with how they look, with how they present themselves, they are bad people. But honestly, the very dangerous ones are the ones behind those gentle faces. I didn't have a good experience. Even up till SHS. That'll be a story for another day. I love you, and see you same time next week. Until then, I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. Bye.